you'll be confused in the wondering why this decision was made. But Warner Brothers have announced a Sandman series for Netflix. Why it's Netflix when they have several of their own streaming services, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think they even know, but we are getting a Sandman series with Neil Gaiman writing the first episode along with David Goyer, which David Goyer is instantly a massive red flag for me. So rest in peace, Sandman. You never saw it.
Yeah, we'll see it when it gets saved by HBO Max when Goyer's not on the show.
Yeah, 3 years after the show's cancelled.
Yeah, and it's a reunion.
Because we all know Warner Brothers ain't going to spend money to buy that out. Like,
yeah. I'm kind of baffled by this myself. I mean,
same.
I have some inkling why. I mean, it's like because of all the money that they spent on the Bad Robot, exclusive deal and the Berlanti. Yeah, I can never say his name. They probably wanted to offset the cost by having, Netflix produce this and pay them money for it. But I think the problem with like the Netflix thing is like if you look at their track record, it's like 2 seasons, and we're gonna try.
Oh yeah, 30 episodes and it's done. Yeah.
Yeah, and the second thing is like I'm hoping that like they didn't do what Marvel did with the Netflix Marvel stuff and sign an exclusive deal for X amount of years and have to pay X amount of dollars to get it all back.
I mean, we can only hope that wasn't the case, but I imagine at this point in time, with a service that has just lost friends, something that they spent a fortune on, is kind of like, you know what, we want a bit of collateral.
Yeah, when I seen that, I was like, it's the beginning of the end for Netflix. Yeah. I mean, like, I think this is sort of a win situation for them because like they're just kind of grasping at everything to try to keep themselves afloat. And like they see this as like an IP they can use and exploit, so to speak.
Definitely, but it's just I'm not sure if it speaks volumes for the DC Universe app as well. It's just like, well, it's kind of like it's perfect for that. Like, wouldn't that drive more people to that service?
Yeah, well, I think that's done. I'll be honest with you. I don't expect that to survive next year. I think it would have been perfect for it, but I think on the flip side, if they did put that on their service, they would have to put out the cost for the production.
It also would have only been 1 season because they would have realized how much it cost and then just cancelled.
and then 2 weeks later, the service gets folded into HBO Max. So
I'm not. We'll get to that later on actually, but I'm not entirely sure that it is getting folded. But
yeah. I mean, yeah.
No, it's a very. I know, like Sandman's a property that yes, it should. It kind of deserves to be adapted into something, like whether it's a movie or live action or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, Netflix, you have HBO. Yeah. Why would you not give it to HBO? I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, like in the age where like you want something to, you want a title to grab people and say, hey, come to my service.
You need that killer app.
Yeah,
you need that thing to grab people in.
Where can you watch Watchmen and every other WB property, and then like on top of that, like Sandman's it has been clamored for decades. Let's put it out there, and I agree. I think it should be a TV show because of the way the stories are just long form. And from what I heard, there's going to be new stuff. It's like Neil Gaiman said, hey, I don't want to write this. So
which is fair enough. Like, why should he write the same thing again? Like, if you want to read that Sandman, you have the book. Like,
exactly.
If he's got an idea, like, I'm going to bring it back to Neon Genesis here. It's kind of like Arno and the Rebuilds. Like, he's doing something different with the new stuff he's bringing out. Yeah. The original's always there. It's there on Netflix, funnily enough. But the new stuff is like, it's a hard left turn from that original show.
Yeah. I think the choice of like where it's being on is like the biggest problem for me.
Yeah.
I
just
think
confusing why it's there.
Yeah, I mean it's a little confusing, but a part of me knows. knows why it's doing it, but like
yeah, I mean, it's always down to money, isn't it? Like,
to offset the cost. But like another part of me is like, you got to spend money to make money, and
Yep.
like what says more to your fans is like, hey man, you want to go see the thing that's been sought out for years and years and years? Come to my service. It's over here. It's not over there. It's over here.
Yeah.
You know,
like, hey, here's our thing, but it's over there.
yeah, I think I'll be honest with you. If I seen this as like maybe a second year show on an app that I've been kind of like, I don't know if I want to do this, and I don't want to do this. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think if I seen that, I'd be like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah. It's definitely. I just like.
I think it's disappointing.
Yeah. I think that's probably the word I'm looking for. I really couldn't spit it out there. It's like you know, it's like HBO. Like it's such a big name. You know, they got all the freaking money in the world because it's HBO, and after Game of Thrones, of course they have all the money in the world. It's just like, just do that. Like, you know, you're doing Watchmen. You've already established HBO is going to have like DC shows. If I just smack the mic. It's like,
well, I think that that kind of goes in the problem how DC or Warner Brothers like solve these problems that they have. It's like, you know, that it's like, you know, you don't want to give other companies you're basically your competitor your products. It's like you don't see Coke saying, "Hey, Pepsi, you want to take, you know, just use my name to advertise your stuff." Go right ahead.
I'm pretty certain that's how New Coke came about.
Yeah, it's true. But like, but you know that goes right back to like how it's like the preconceived notion of how WB works as a company.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
there's a small part of me that's kind of glad it's not in the DCU because it wouldn't get the budget it needs. It's like, you know, the shows they're doing over there, you know, the budget doesn't need to be astronomical on like Swamp Thing, I suppose. But it's like, you know, just keep it in house and give it the love. It just feels like an afterthought. It's what can we do? Sandman, there you go.
Yeah, right. I think it could have been a nice companion piece to the Watchmen TV show. Maybe, I don't know. It could have been like something. But I mean, like, you know, the second part that's really bumming me out is like the David Goyer part. You know, it's like, you know, like I'm I don't hate the guy. I just I don't like some of the stuff he does, and like, you know, like to know he's involved, you know, kind of like. Like you said, raises the red flags. It's like,
like he works on everything else, like, you know, with the CW stuff. And it's just kind of like, actually, is he on the CW stuff, or is that Berlanti? Am I getting confused?
That's Berlanti, I think. I don't think.
What's Goyer done?
I think Goyer has been involved with like the beginning of the DCU, ECU. I mean, before that, he's been kind of like a tag along with Snyder for a while, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he involved in like the 300 stuff?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I get my failing upwards dude confused.
It's well, I mean, like it can't. You can be confused. Like, you know, he could have been involved with the WB stuff for all we know.
Yeah, but it's just like,
But yeah, like Goyer, I don't know, man. He's a hit or miss for me. You know, like. But
it just was weird. Like they like, you know, if you're Berlanti, it's kind of like, you know, fine. Like that kind of says, you know, we want to keep every all like we, you know, we like the CW feel. Like, let's just keep all the shows the same. And like Goyer and like, the whole Snyder stuff, it's just like you're trying to get rid of that, surely.
Yeah. I mean, he seems to be in that Snyder camp, anyways. So, like I thought, you know, maybe WDB wants to wash her hands of this whole situation, but doing this, it kind of keeps people, you know, it keeps people reminded of like, oh yeah, Snyder was here too, wasn't he? You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna watch it for sure. You know, because I'm a huge fan.
Same.
But like, I'm always gonna have like, I'm gonna always have that in the back of my mind that like, you know, that he's involved, and like anything that comes in that doesn't make any sense is just gonna be like, oh yeah, this must have been part of Goyer's decision making. But like,
at least after the first episode, because, you know, Gaiman's doing the first one, so anything after that is all Goyer. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the first season, the first episode's great, and it just kind of goes downhill. We know where it happened, you know.
Yeah. It's like you can pinpoint the exact moment.
Yeah, second episode of the first frame. You know? I don't know. Yeah, like the only thing that like the one thing that's kind of like boding well is like it's all gonna pretty much be original stuff. Hopefully
Yeah.
sprinkled in with some iconic stuff. I think I think
I imagine you're gonna get a nice healthy mix. Like, or you might get like certain moments, but in different context.
yeah. I mean, like I kind of I can't. I hope that they do the like because like I think I remember I can't remember what issue it was, but like when Sandman tags along with Death, and she's doing like the whole like they're like waxing poetic about like life and stuff like that, and like I don't know, it's such a great scene in the panels in the comic, and like the words make it even better. But like I want to see it kind of emotion and see like you got to imagine that Death and all the family is going to be introduced in some way.
Yeah, they can't keep that out. There's no way.
Yeah.
I just hope they kind of stick to like that people adapt the art style.
Yeah. Oh, I
It's
mean,
like, we just need like not necessarily like try to make it like one for one, but just like let's just keep it at least looking like it.
I would love for like I hope the look and feel is like I don't know, like a motion comic, but not really like a motion comic because like
yeah.
I don't know, like if does that make any sense? But
I
like,
get you mean like when motion comics have that, it's like a weird fluid thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only way I can describe it. It's like it doesn't look right, but it kind of works.
Yeah.
Like,
and I hope it has something like that because it would kind of like feel good, like I feel right if you because I mean we're talking about like a dream state anyway, so I don't know. Do you have any like expectations for that? Or for
I just hope it's not a typical like we're in a dream and everything's like out of focus on the edges and blurry. I just don't do that. No, please don't do that. Make it. Give the artwork its due. Like, just bring
or at
that
least do something original, man. Like at least try to do something original.
Yeah.
Don't just go to the well every time.
And just try to avoid just like generic swirling colors because.
Yeah, but we are talking about David S. Gore, so like
that's true, and it's Netflix.
Anyway,
we'll watch it. We'll both no doubt talk about it on here
for sure
as it comes out. So get hype.